When it comes to applying for personal credit cards, it's something many people make a large mistake on by not being intentional by what credit card they're applying for. There are several different reasons why you want to be strategic about the personal credit cards you're applying for. Whether your goal is to travel hack and get credit card points, or to build strong credit so you can get better interest rates and or get approved for business credit cards. It's all potentially a different strategy. But one thing that is very consistent is you want to apply for personal credit cards at banks that are top tier, that give good limits and good sign-up bonuses. So if you're someone that has weak credit, you want to focus on high limit personal credit cards. If you are someone that is trying to get access to 0% interest business funding, you want to be focusing on cards that give high limits, that are at top tier banks, and also at banks that have 0% interest business credit cards. However, if right now your intention is to get access to cards with best sign-up bonuses, in this video, I'm going to discuss the best cards with the highest sign-up bonuses, and I want you to understand the thought process on how I'm looking at certain credit cards and making the decision if I'm going to apply for this specific credit card, business or personal, based on the sign-up bonus. So I'm going to share my screen. This right here is the best tool to show the best sign-up bonus on the monthly basis. I will just Google search best sign-up bonuses, and then I scroll down to the upgraded points resource, and I'll click that, and this will update on a monthly basis. Right now we're in the month of March, and this is the 20 best credit card welcome bonuses in March. Okay, it's going to be the first top's going to be 11 of the personal credit cards, moving down to the best 9 business credit cards. Okay, so if my intention was to just maximize the amount of points I'm getting, that strategy is a little bit more different than if I'm also trying to get ready for business funding in terms of getting access to 0% interest business credit cards. If that's the case, I would apply for these much slower. I'd be much more intentional on applying for these, okay? I'm going to go through 2 scenarios. Scenario 1 is I'm trying to maximize my sign-up bonuses simultaneously to getting my personal credit profile in a good attractive shape prior to 0% interest business credit cards. That's the first scenario we're going to go through first. So if that's the case, I want to be more intentional about the cards I'm applying for. So again, I want to focus on banks at a high tier, banks. Banks like Chase is one. The Atmos card is underwritten by Bank of America. That's a high tier card. Citi is a tier 1 account, and then Wells Fargo is as well. But Wells Fargo isn't that great for sign-up bonuses. So the Chase Sapphire Reserve has a 125,000 point sign-up bonus. This is a great sign-up bonus. It's a new offer. What I really like to point out, anytime it says it's red, like a new offer, it says new offer here, or limited time only, or an elevated welcome bonus, etc., that will catch my attention. If you're trying to build strong credit and increase your collective personal credit limits, then the Amex Platinum and the Amex Gold card won't be good for that reason, because they don't have credit limits. They have spending power, so it doesn't actually increase your collective personal credit limits. So again, if you're trying to build strong credit while getting points, while you're getting ready for business funding, then you will want to avoid the Platinum card and the American Express Personal Gold card. Instead, I would focus on getting 1 to 2 personal credit cards, okay? You never want to do more than 2 personal credit cards in a 6-month time frame. So right now it might be just choosing 2 of these best cards, assuming you've applied for 0 in the last 6 months. So if I'm looking through here, the Chase Sapphire Reserve is pretty attractive. Chase Sapphire Preferred is pretty attractive, but the Reserve is a higher annual fee, higher sign-up bonus. I would compare the benefits between the 2 cards and pick one of them. The Atmos card, 80,000. Atmos is a really good program. That's the Alaska Airlines program, also Hawaiian Airlines. I've received some of the best redemptions all of last year with Alaska Airlines or Atmos miles. So that's a pretty good one. One I would stay away from would be the Capital One cards. The reason I would stay away from the Capital One cards right now, if the intention is business funding soon, is because the Capital One cards give you a hard inquiry on all three bureaus. Okay, that's not something you would want to do before business funding here soon. So avoid Capital One right now. Citi, this used to be 100,000, so I don't love it at 75,000, 60,000. So if it came down to it, if I were to pick two cards right now to help me build strong credit simultaneously of getting access to points and getting me ready for business funding, I would choose either the reserve or the preferred, choosing one, and I would choose this Atmos card to get 80,000 points and also this 25,000 point Global Companion Award for only $400. This would be one, and it's a card underwritten by Bank of America, which is a good bank that has 0% cards. You want to build that credit relationship with Bank of America, and then either the reserve or the preferred. I personally, I have the preferred because so much of my travel I'm able to put on my business Chase Sapphire Reserve. So I don't really need to spend $800 on the Chase Sapphire Reserve personal card. So I just do the preferred. One thing you could do is get the reserve for the first year, and then second year, just downgrade it to a different Chase card. So choose one of the Chase cards, and then Atmos card is the two personal cards I would do from this list in that scenario. On the second scenario, if I didn't have any intention of getting business funding right now, I just wanted to maximize the personal cards and maximize the amount of points I was getting on the sign-up bonuses. And quick reminder, you want to make sure you can spend enough money on these cards to hit the sign-up bonus without having to spend above your means. If you have to spend $3,000 in the first 3 months, make sure you're naturally spending $3,000 that you can put on this card. And if you get 2 or 3 of these cards at the same time, that might be a lot of money you have to spend to hit those sign-up bonuses. So keep that in mind. So again, this second scenario, if you just want to maximize the sign-up bonuses, well, then this would be one I would get, the Capital One. Again, you're going to get a hard inquiry on all 3 credit bureaus. But if you're not doing business funding soon, that really doesn't matter. So that would be a good card. And maybe like the American Express Platinum card, $175K, or the personal gold for $100K. I would choose one of these top 4 cards based on the benefits that would benefit you the most. And then I would do this Capital One Venture. For only $95 annual fee, you'll get 75,000 points and $250 Capital One travel credit. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. The only negative is you get a hard inquiry on all 3 bureaus. So that's my conclusion on the best personal credit cards. And if we move to the business credit cards, the usually 0% cards don't have good sign-up bonuses. These Inc. cards, the Chase Business Inc. Unlimited and the Chase Business Inc. Cash, it says $750, but actually they give you 75,000 points. Sometimes they give you up to 150,000 points. So I'm not seeing an elevated offer right now, and these are 0% cards, so I would just save those for later. New offer, 100,000 point. That's pretty good. It's a new offer. Inc. Preferred, it's a good travel card. It's not 0%. Again, I look for the new offers or the elevated offers. Capital One Venture X for Business, 150,000, pretty good. Chase Sapphire Reserve, 150,000, pretty good. But look at this elevated, 200,000 points, okay? So if it was me, I would be considering the Inc. Preferred and also the Chase Business Platinum, or the American Express Platinum card, Business Platinum. But one thing you want to do is we want to see what is the spend requirements to hit these, okay? Because if you get the card, you want to make sure you'll hit the sign-up bonus. So on this one, you have to spend $20,000 in 3 months. If your business does that, perfect. If your business only spends $1,000 a month, then this card is not going to work. So you want to check the details of the sign-up bonus. If we look at the Chasing Preferred, we could see the sign-up bonus is spend only $8,000 in the first 3 months. Maybe that's more within your budget, etc. If that's the case, then maybe start with this one and then think about another one next. So all in all, that's how I would look at this resource on a monthly basis in terms of how to choose the best sign-up bonus based on my specific strategy. The biggest mistake I see people make is not being very intentional about what cards they're applying for. And a big mistake is Without that intention, you're going to apply for cards. You might apply for too many. You might not hit the sign up bonus. You might get too many hard inquiries. And then when you want to get business funding, you shot yourself in the foot because your personal credit profile took a hit. Okay. If you want to learn more about building strong credit and getting access to business funding, we have a coaching program called Credit Stacking I want to invite you to. It's only $97 a month. I'll post that link right down below. We also have a done for you funding service where if you are in a position where you're ready to get access to 50 to 150,000 of 0% interest credit, that is Scale with Funding, our done for you funding service. You do have to qualify for that service, but we'll drop that link down below as well. And side note, if you do need a credit repair service, if you have any late payments, collections, and you need to get any of those removed, we also have a service where we can help you out from there. Hope you enjoyed today's video. See some other videos on the channel. We have more coming out next week as well. I'll see you in the next.